again, friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy, and I'm glad you decided to join me for this October video. Can you believe it's October already, everybody? Where'd the time go? As you can see in my background, I've decorated with all the cool, fun Halloween things. I've got a pumpkin in the background. I still got my black cats and my kitty cats decorations up. Got some spooky Halloween stuff that you'll probably see in later videos. But today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 things with living with a being a right hemiplegic. Some things that I really struggle with. There's different scenarios that comes up, and I just want to share 4 of them with you, and to note that these are my experiences with the different topics. There may be people out there with other disabilities more severe than mine that never experienced this or have not had that kind of experience, good or bad or otherwise. This is just my experience alone and some of the things that I've come across. Normally in these videos I share an activity with you, but I really wanted to share a good activity and I just couldn't think of one for this month. So that's why I'm just going to be talking to you about some of the really challenging things that have come up in my life. So let's just jump right into this. The first thing that I would like to talk to you about is people staring. Now, there is a good staring and there is bad staring. Good staring, for an example, would be like if I did my hair amazing, or if I had a cute outfit, if my makeup looked good, you know, people stare at it, or somebody be like, oh, I love your makeup. That's perfect. That's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm like, yeah. It just makes my day. It makes me happy, like anybody, correct? Or like somebody comments on my tattoos or this, that, and the other. There's the bad staring, where is that when I was younger, I got stared at so much in like a bad way that some of these girls were just, and this is like when I was in my teens, okay? Like I'd go to the mall with my friends and the girls there, I was just hanging out with my girls. They just gave me the worst, dirtiest look, like I was the gum under their shoes. And it hurt. That really hurts one's self-confidence, and like, geez. Now, I was with my friends, and and they loved me, and they were like, I don't bring it up because, I was a young teen. I was, trying to figure out, like, what's their problem, but being stared at like you have a disease, or you have the plague, it hurts. Like, it really hurts. And I think a lot of the time, people are not aware of that they're doing it in some instances. Like, when like this is an example of like, say a young kid, let's just say 6 to like 12, okay, stares. What I would do in this situation is I smile, or like, hi, or like, I try to be friendly. I try to not normalize, I guess I'll say, my disability. So I am like friendly, and I am like, oh, it's also sometimes kids don't know how to interpret my disability, like my hand, like, so it hangs, like they can tell it's a hand, whatever. It's a little, hangs differently than they do. There's no momentum. I can't move it like they can. And sometimes they just don't know how to comprehend it or what to think of it. And, that just happens. And even now, 40, 39 years, 38 years now, and it still happens. I couldn't remember how old I was. 38 years, and like sometimes, I just, I have a strong backbone. I feel like a lot of people with disabilities, no matter what the disability is, whether it's a physical disability or a mental disability, we have to have a tough backbone, because if we don't, we are going to be like crying, and our self-confidence is like as low as it can be, and you just have to get a stiff upper lip and a tough backbone and just be like, you know what? Forget you people. You don't know me. You don't know what I deal with every day. And, there are good days and bad days. Sometimes it is just so frustrating to, for someone like me, and anybody. There's good days and bad days, no matter what kind of disability. But in this case, for me, like, if I want to do my hair, like a lot of the hair tutorials out there and a lot of makeup tutorials out there, they are all two-handed. Or if they are one-handed, they are generally it's still the right, they are doing makeup with their right hand. So it is so frustrating to try to do my makeup well when I have to adjust everything. So that is one of the things. So there's good steering and there's bad steering. Just, everybody does it. I do it too sometimes. I try not to, but, it's just, if you see someone, it's just like anything. Like, if you see somebody with beautiful hair, I'll be like, oh, sorry, you have pretty hair. Sorry, and I don't mind it. Like I said, there's good and bad steering, and just sometimes it's just a little frustrating when it's the bad steering. Number 2, the second thing that I would like to talk to you about is that and growing up, there is discrimination within the disabled community. And what I mean by that is there are so many wonderful, wonderful outlets out there and programs out there for people, again, with all kinds of different disabilities coming together, having wonderful groups and community, and that is awesome. Like, truly, truly, that is amazing. I'm so glad that a lot of people have come to not see the light, but just realize what a big community there is, that with so many supportive people out there and caring people, and that is just fantastic. But also the opposite side of the good community out there is that there is also limits to that as well, meaning that I can't remember what program or activity or whatever when I was younger growing up again, so keep that in mind in this story. I was not as severe to join this one whatever group or activity or community or whatever with people with disabilities, and yet we tried like a regular, not adaptive group or whatever club or whatever it was. I can't remember, again, this was a long time ago. I was too disabled. So I am in that rare, with my disability, I really am gray area split, because on some things, like a regular thing, I couldn't do it because my balancing ability or whatever it was. But when we tried the adaptive thing, my disability wasn't severe enough to join that category. And that is, again, when you're young, it's hard. You're like, for me, I was like, where do I fit in? I can't do this. Okay, so I can try something else. And again, they're like, no, you can't do this. She can't. It probably wouldn't be good for her. So it was hard. I cried and I was so frustrated, and it is hard. And again, I'm like, I can't remember the program or what group, anything, but I feel that a lot of the times you have to be if your disability is severe, it has to be XYZ, blah, 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 you're in. Or if you're not, they kind of, not cast you aside, but they are not as, there's less opportunities for, I guess that's the way to say it, less opportunities for people that have less severe disabilities like myself. Now, again, this was when I was growing up younger. I'm sure that things have changed, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't really do groups like that with people with disabilities. So I can't say for sure. But when I was growing up, for trying different activities and clubs and whatnot, to me, it felt that sometimes I wasn't severely disabled enough to join some things, or I wasn't, if you will, normal enough to pass to be in a regular group of whatever the activity was. And it, like I said, it is so hard and so frustrating. And because normally, kids just join clubs, whatever, like, it's not a big deal. And again, same thing with adaptive stuff. But at the time, everything that the groups I wanted to try to do was for the more severe disabled kids. And that is, on one note, I want to say, like, that is awesome. I am so for inclusion in every activity, like, way to go. But at the same time, I feel that people with, I do have I don't consider my disability severe. It is severe. I have brain damage. I had a stroke. I have very, very limited mobility issues. So there is a lot. Praise the Lord that I do have the ability to think for myself, to dress, to, make, solve problems, I am so blessed in that way. And it is wonderful because I know how hard it is for people to have more severe issues, because it's a lot. You're the caretaker. And I tip my hat to anybody that is a caretaker, a babysitter, a care coordinator, or like any kind of people in that field. God bless you all. You are all amazing. Anyway, so that is something that is just a struggle for me. Now, not so much, because I'm better at communicating and whatnot, and I do have opportunities, but also, to add to this, it is hard for like a work situation, because again, I cannot stand for too long on my feet because I have two different size feet. And so again, the job I would have to do would be like, I have to make sure I sit. There's a lot of things that are against me in work. So as a self-published author, that for me, that work is amazing. I can do it. But again, a lot of job opportunities go to more like, I see a lot of kids doing like with Down syndrome stuff. And again, way to go. I wish I had the ability to stand longer so I would be a-okay with working at a fast food industry. There is nothing absolutely wrong with it. Who doesn't love McDonald's? You know what I'm saying? I Work is work. If you're working, you are contributing to society, and you're an amazing person. But again, with the way my disability is, finding work is so hard because I have a lot more things stacked against me. And yeah, that's just one of the struggles. The third topic I would like to talk to you about is hang on, sorry. I have notes, so sorry. Is people using certain types of words and labels for when, like, if they're talking about, if I like either hear them talking like behind my back or just like talking to me like without realizing it. And I am talking about words like handicapped, disabled, um what other ones? Oh, and there is one specific one that I absolutely hate when people use, and that is the word special. I hate it. Now, this comes from, I don't mind being called, handicapped, disabled, absolutely fine. Those that I have no problem with those words. Um, every now and then, and this is just because I am it, I can call myself this. I generally say in a joking way, but sometimes I call myself a cripple. Um, it for me, when I use it, it's more in a joking way. It is what it is. Like, if you can't find humor in some stuff, like, then what's the point of life? But the reason why I find the word special triggering or leaves a bad taste in my mouth is growing up when I was in elementary school, there was special ed, okay, special education. So when you had special ed, it was like a certain time, like, I don't know, half hour, I don't know what, anyway. You got pulled out of your regular classroom and you went in there, and the awesome special ed teachers helped you with your math, with reading, with, whatever you needed help with. And I always felt like it was such a production, whereas like, oh, you have to, at the certain time, you leave, you go, instead of taking the time, like, it's and then when you came back, you missed a lot of whatever the teacher was talking about. And because of my disability, I struggled in reading and math. Even now, math is a 4-letter cuss word. I can do it. I don't struggle as much, but math was really hard because I also had bleeding in my brain as well. But it because I had these things happen when, for example, when kids were, so I was in 3rd grade, when kids were learning multiplication and division, I was still trying to figure out addition and subtraction, especially subtraction. And like, can you imagine trying to, like, barely know math, like the simplest math, adding and subtracting, and you're given like multiplication, like speed test? Like, of course I'm gonna fail at them all. Like, I didn't have that ability. That's just, I didn't have it. And so when like I always got my tests back because they did them sometimes fast before I went to special ed, I'd always get them wrong. Well, and it's frustrating. Like, I mean, every now and then I'd get like one right, like, clearly, but so that was like really hard for me, and it was hard for me to, like, in school and also reading too, when I would also see the the young kids that were gifted, and they went to their own, special room for, XYZ amount of time, and they came back like with suckers and with like candy, and it's just like, what the heck? It was so hard. I absolutely hated school. It was so hard to go. Now, I didn't hate everything about school. Like, I liked art and music and, gym, but I didn't hate everything about school. But math and reading, which is, one of the two basic things we all need for education, was like super frustrating. Like, but special to me was like, you're not, if you will, normal. You have something wrong with you. And when you're a kid, you don't know all the terminology. You don't have that knowledge of what's going on. You just, it's just it's normal to you to have a disability. You just, get up and live your life, So, but when you go to school, kids are mean, and they're like, well, you're not like us. You don't move your hand the way we do. You don't have the ability to do the things we do. So you are going to be an outcast. You are going to be labeled as not one of us, a regular kid. And it's hard. It's hard to find so it was hard for me to make friends growing up, and to have that self-confidence to be like, oh, hi, I'm Amy, blah, 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 Same thing with the playground. A lot of the equipment when I was growing up was for normal two-handed kids to play on the playground. Now, I could use the swings fine, regular swings. I could climb, the slides sometimes, if the ladders were wooden, I kind of fit my fingers in the slot to climb up this ladder of the stairs to use the slide. I couldn't use the jungle gym. I couldn't, do a lot of things. But, again, I managed. I was happy on the swings, and I did make friends, a few friends, and I am so blessed to have them. They're still my friends. But also, as a side note to why I hate the word special, is also the special ed bus, the short, those smaller buses. Again, that's awesome that they have them. There's like, as an adult, I'm like, yay, that's awesome that there's stuff out there. But when you're growing up, again, you're not able to ride that, and not being with my peers to even ride the bus. Now, this is when I was younger. I rode a special ed bus. It's hard. You didn't want to do it. As I grew up and went to elementary school and middle school, I could ride the regular bus, no problems, everything. I was always the quiet kid, well-behaved kid, so I never had, praise the Lord, and I am so blessed that I never had to deal with bullies. I never had to deal with, there's always kind of the mean kid with the snotty kid, with the snide comment, but that never really bothered me. I was like, whatever. I don't have time to waste with that kid. So, you know, for me, it's just, I don't like that word. Or when people say, oh, you're special. No, thank you. Again, this probably does not apply to a lot of people. It just applies to me. But I severely dislike being called special. Now, on the flip side, I'm not talking about like if someone gives me a birthday card that says to a special person. That's fine. Absolutely love that. Or like, if someone even leaves a comment, oh, you're a special girl, your hair looks great, or something like that, that's perfect. But when someone, dumbs it down, if you will, or like, oh, you're special because blah, blah, blah. No, I don't like that. Um, I don't want to be special. I want to be normal. And I know that sounds so harsh and mean. And in a world where we're trying to all stand out, but we're also trying to be normal, it's hard. So I tried to work so hard at being that. I don't like, that's why I generally don't like attention on me, because, and I'm not talking about like, like when I went to a prom, or, a fun part, like if a party is thrown for me, I want to be, I love that. Woo, center of attention. But if, you know, someone is making a big deal because I have a disability, or because that's when I just kind of cringe and like, like, thanks. Like, people, I think, overuse that word and overdo it to like almost baby it, if you will, if that makes sense. Like, oh, you're the, at the end of the day, we're all people, okay? Yes, we have a disability, but we want to live our lives like everybody else. We want to wake up in the morning and, eat breakfast, get dressed, just live our lives to the best of our abilities. And when people put a spotlight on that and try to highlight us to a point where it's over the top, it's very cringy, and I just frown at it and be like, really? Come on, we don't put us on a pedestal. Yes, we can do certain things that others can't. Yes, that is amazing. But at the same time, let us not, it's not good for people to put other people, no matter if they're disabled or not, on pedestals, because that is a lot of pressure. Oh, you feel you have to do something. You have to do, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Again, that's just my experience. And, like, there's a degree. You shouldn't put people, shouldn't make them feel like they are the most uniqueness because they have this. I would rather have people think of me as a regular person, not like, oh, let me give you privileges because you have a disability, not that. And also on that sense, like, not have, oh, because I'm this, I deserve to go ahead of somebody in line, or because I have a disability, I can do this, that I can bypass certain things. Again, if that makes sense. And I'm not talking about, like, again, on the flip side, like, it is awesome that I don't need a special pass for like Disneyland. I can wait in line. Sometimes it hurts to wait in line, like, but I can adjust my feet. If I go to Disneyland, whenever I go to Disneyland with my husband, I know I can lean on him for support if my feet are sore, and that's good enough. Like, you know, and I've also seen two people that, how do I put this? That they feel entitled because they have a family member that has a disabled person in their party, and like are at like Target or whatever. They feel that because that I can do this, regular rules do not apply to me, and that just annoys me too. But those are just some of the things that I deal with and that sometimes frustrate me. But you know, like I said earlier on, I am so blessed that I don't have severe disabilities, that I do not, you know, that I can dress myself, that I can live without a guardian, that I don't have to have someone come check in to make sure like that I ate, that I, you know, got dressed, that, you know, I got clean underpants on to be kind of funny, or you know what I mean. And again, I tip my hat off to every single person out there that is a guardian to someone that is with disabilities, that have to deal with it every day. It can be a grinding job, and I tip my hat, and God bless all of you truly that deal with that and do that. You are all amazing, amazing people. One of the other things too that I would like to talk to you about is, I know this video is kind of long, but I feel it's important, is more exposure with disabilities in general. Whatever the disability is, I feel that even in nowadays with TV and movies, that we are still, and books, that we are still not represented well. We are either portrayed as the best friend or the, you know, the side character or whatever. And I don't know, I feel like there's such a wasted opportunity out there. And in all aspects of disabled community, we need to have we need to be shown, we need to be seen, we need to be heard. And I'm not saying just wipe out all the other actors and actresses out there and just, you know, force, you know, people with disabilities to be front and center, but at the same time have a wider open opportunities for people with all kinds of disabilities, ranging from all spectrums, from people that, you know, that are wheelchair bound, to people that have stroke, that survives a stroke survivor, people that you know, have MS, people that have Down syndrome, people that, you know, just look different than we do. And it's just a wasted, I feel, an opportunity to people to see, because if you normalize people with disabilities, if it's not a big deal, if they're just like everybody else, and because we are, then there is going to be so much less hate out there. There's going to be so much less discrimination. There's going to be so much less of just bad vibes out there. And plus, if they are contributing, they feel like they are part of a society. They are, I mean, not a society, but community and society and life. And I feel that is so, so important. yeah, so that's all the video for today. I know it's a very, very long one, and I do apologize, but I feel very passionate about this, and I want people to watch this video and to realize that, wow, they are so blessed that they don't have that, and that is so awesome. I never hold, like, I don't hold hostility or hate or anger or frustration to anybody that does not have a disability. It, life is too short, and that's why I make these videos. I love making these videos because I hope that it sheds light on um like a dark place, or just something you wouldn't think about. And these videos don't like get a lot of like views, but I want them to. I don't That's why I like making these YouTube videos, because if you've been watching me for a while, you see how I move and operate, and you can see the struggles with my I'm sure you all see me adjust my bra straps or tank tops. That's what I deal with in my everyday life. But I want to normalize my life. I don't want people to think, oh, she's stretching the truth, or it's not so bad. Like, I struggle all the time, and the more knowledge is shared, the more that things aren't scary anymore. You have a better understanding of, even if you see somebody just walking down the street with just, go that extra little bit of ways, or if they, have a good, beautiful hair, like, comment on the hair, say how nice their makeup is, or like, just be a well-rounded person. And I know that there will always be mean people out there, people that don't give, two breaths about you, and I can't let them and their judgment affect me, because that's just wasted time, and I don't have time for this. I have one life to live, and I want to live it well. I want to live the best life I can, and again, sharing my stories and struggles and everything with you guys is my way to do that. And that is why I'm so happy that I wrote a book. I did that. I wrote a book. Like, if you would have told my 12-year-old self or 11-year-old self that, you're going to write a book, Amy, what? What? You're going to be an author? What? My mind would be blown, or I wish I could go back in time and tell my middle school self, hey, you know what? You're gonna grow up, and you're gonna have two neck tattoos. Your arms are gonna be tattooed. You're gonna live in an apartment with your husband. You're gonna have a happy marriage. That is what I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, because in those times I struggled. I was not the happiest kid. And just to see how far I've come is just incredible. And this is not a video again to, oh, she's so, but it's more of a video just to encourage everybody out there, no matter disability or not. You can reach your dreams. You can reach your goals. You just got to have you gotta have faith in, if you have a religion, you have to have the faith in that, which I do. You have to have amazing friends and family, supportive family and friends who love you, and you will do it. You can do anything. And I just want to encourage everybody to reach for your dreams, reach for your goals. Why not? They can be small, they can be big, but you can reach them. Like, if I can do it, me, someone that has not a severe, but somebody that is a stroke survivor, somebody that had bleeding in their brain, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And no matter what aspect in life, you can do it. So that is all the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big like, subscribe, share with friends and family. Down in the comments down below, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask. Yeah, please feel free to ask. I've got some more fun videos coming up in the future. And I cannot wait to share them with you all. And I will see you guys soon in my new video. Bye-bye.